really exists right now. Okay? And just 2 years before these films were shot, the Breaking franchises, crack cocaine hits the communities. So we're watching this as this is being filmed. Just keep it in perspective, because what's happening at this time affects us right now, today. Okay? Just on a serious note of it, because our man here today, he grew up through all this, witnessing this, being a part of this, being a star of this, and through his works, through his efforts, and continuing to be a purveyor of, a presenter of, a representative of hip-hop culture, peace, love, unity, having fun, knowledge. He's here with us today. We're going to have a Q&A, and after this, at 6 o'clock, he's actually going to be at our beloved Massive Monkeys studios at the Beacon at 6 o'clock teaching. So if anybody's interested in learning from the master who still has the moves, we were at Johansson's dance studio yesterday, and I got to witness and see it, and his students got to witness and see he still got the moves and instruction. Okay, so with no further ado, the man who said, bring your pain and bring your problems to the dance floor and let everyone see. We want to present to you the king of Crenshaw Boulevard, the king of street dance, Adolfo Shabba Doo Seattle.
Thank you. And you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't even need a microphone. He's wearing his glasses because he has a problem with his eyes, and he's not trying to be cool and take pictures because he's trying to be dope. I'm wearing mine for exactly that reason. But I'll take them out because I need for us to be personal. We're family. We're family. Mm-hmm. We don't have a problem with each other. We love each other.
Yes. That's right.
We respect each other.
Yeah.
I know we say that when we're alone, but we need to start saying that in public too. Doesn't matter to say we love somebody if we're not willing to tell the world that we do. Think about it. Not by what we say, but by what we do. Now, we're going to have some great times. I want to hear all your questions, but you need to know a little bit about me. I'm a welfare recipient, a former welfare recipient. I'm a ghetto boy. I'm a black boy. I was supposed to be a criminal. I was supposed to be incarcerated. I was supposed to live the legacy of my father, who was a career criminal. But I beat the odds. You can too. I am not extraordinary. I'm an ordinary boy who was given extraordinary circumstances. And I had a great mom. Now, I want to make this clear. I'm a mama's boy. And I'm proud of it. And my mom, because people ask me, what is your secret? One day, my mom whispered in my ear. She said, you're special. And I believed her. I still believe her. It doesn't have to be your mom. It doesn't have to be your dad. It could be anybody. It whispers in your ear and tells you that you're special. Believe them. Live up to that legacy. Not the one that the world says we are. We're no good, troublemakers, whatever they want to label you to be. He's not this, he ain't Christian, he's Muslim, he's that, whatever. Own this label, I'm special. And that film, Breaking 2, there's a lot of it, all that pink, all that blue, fluorescent. That took me back a minute. I was like, okay now. I'm gonna have to just, I'm gonna have to explain why I'm wearing all these sherbet colors. I had a lot of explaining to do. But one thing that it did do, and this was brought on by my conversations with them and they knowing who I am. If you kind of know who I am, I've always been a dance activist. I've always been for the people. I'm a rebel. I've always been. In the beginning, they said I was a troublemaker. A troublemaker. Because I didn't do what everybody else did. And in that film, people coming in and taking over our neighborhoods for their financial gain, but don't put anything back into the people that made the neighborhood work. In the community we call hip-hop, that we created street dance first and then hip-hop. It came from the people. Are we gonna let them gentrify the culture too? Take our soul and restructure it and give it a sea view? And we're gonna take ownership of our culture. And we're gonna do street dance and hip-hop the way we say it is. That's a choice. And that's a decision we need to make right now. So there I was, 30-some years ago, standing up to City Hall. And they're going to push us out of our neighborhood. You're going to tell us. 'Cause I'm ozone, street dancer. So let's get deep today. Don't ask me what my favorite color is. You can find that out on Facebook. Ask me the really tough questions. Ask me the questions that really matter. Of course, you want to know my favorite color. It's purple, by the way. So let's just get that out of the way. I love me some purple.
We have a mic.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna do it in order so we can get it all in. We're gonna thumb pack this in. But I want to thank the 206 Zulu. I want to thank Jonathan again, Cunningham, and also Love It Jay, who together, after doing his show, he had a vision to bring me here. Said, you know what, you need to come to Seattle. You need to come to Washington. You need to talk to the people. Let's rally the troops. They may own the air, but we own the ground. We got more boots on the ground. They can talk about it in the media. We can control the ground. And the big war is won on the ground. I love you. Let's make it happen. Let's do it before I'm dead and gone. Because, by the way, I've got about 30 more years left. And then 20 of those years, or 10 maybe of those years, I'll be eating applesauce. And I'll probably suffer from dementia. And I won't be able to answer your question. And then I'll be subjected to the system because I'll only get a little bit of money from Medi-Cal. And I only have just a little bit of money from my Social Security. So if you ever see me and I'm just wandering the streets, give me a sandwich or something. Hook me up with a little payment. No, I'm kidding. But let's have some fun. Okay, love you.
Okay. Thank you. So, not everybody has a voice that projects, so anybody who wants to ask a question, we have a mic, you just raise your hand and I'll bring it to you. And he's not ashamed of this, but our society is. But how does Shabba Doo look for 61 years old?
And I'm a grandfather. And I'm proud of it. I can say it loud, I'm old and I'm proud.
So if you can project, that's okay. But otherwise, I have a microphone and I'll help you out. So any questions?
First question in the back?
Yeah.
Shabba Doo.
Yes.
Shabba Doo.
Yes.
Where does that name come from? How did you get it?
Okay. That's an interesting one. I had several names. My first name was Sir Lancelot. Boy, that would have caught on. Campbell Locke Jr., a fellow founding member of the Lockers, he he named me Sir Lancelot. Now you say, well, why would he name you Sir Lancelot? Well, in those days, I wore a Superfly hairdo. I had long hair, and I used to tie my hair back with a piece of rawhide string. And one day I did this, and he looks at me and said, "You look like King Arthur," or something. I was like, yeah. He's like, "You're Sir Lancelot." I was like, okay. So I bought into the whole round table thing and the knights and all that. The Knights of the Lockers. And then they had a couple other sub-names. The other name was The Mimic. They called me The Mimic. The reason they called me The Mimic is because I was so good at copying other people's dance styles. Like, I look at it just really quick and I can figure out, and I have a secret about that, and we'll talk about that in class, how that works. And the other one was the King Rookie. Now, that wasn't supposed to be a compliment. They called me the King Rookie. Don Campbell did, because I was the youngest member of the group, so just to keep me in line, he said, "Hey, you know what, you're just a rookie. You know what, you're the King Rookie." So there you go. And then, one night, in a club it's called the Summit on the Hill, the R&B group called Bloodstone was playing. We used to have bands then. We didn't have DJs. We danced to live music. DJs were only relief people. Yeah, they need to go to the toilet. Okay, the DJ, so, sorry. They're great now. Anyway, so the band was riffing, Shabba Dabba Doo Bop, Shabba Dabba Doo, like that. And I was like, "Hey, Greg, I want a new name." So what is that? I said, "It should be Shabba Dabba Doo Bop, Shabba Dabba Doo." He said, "It's too long. How about Shabba Doo?" And that kind of started, Shabba Doo, and then it became Shabba Doo, and all kinds of odd spellings, the Q thrown in there. And then eventually I settled on Shabba Doo. And that's been my name ever since. Since circa 1972, 73. Yeah.
You said earlier before the movie that this movie changed your life,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering if you could go into that.
Well, this movie was the follow-up of the Break-In film. And this film, this second one, cemented me into the culture around the world. It'll never go away, I don't think. Probably when we blow ourselves up at some point, they'll find a piece of graffiti wall at Venice Beach, and there you go, Shabba Doo. So it kind of gave me that, and how people perceived me as a professional, as a leader, a co-leader in this culture. So that's how it changed my life.
It's amazing to me. I was raised really in a small community. I was homeschooled, and I didn't get to see or really hear any hip hop or see any dancing until I got married to my husband, and he showed me the two movies, and that was in 2003, 20 years after they'd been made, and the movement was so real that it didn't lose anything, even though I was introduced to the movement in 2003, and it just seemed so insanely alive and exciting, and I wondered watching the movies about all the non-dancers if they could feel it, all the other actors, if they could feel the movement.
Well, God bless your husband. Don't ever divorce him. He's a good man. A Christian. Anyway, at least he's going to heaven, that's for sure. So, yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes?
I guess my question is the evolution of hip-hop in terms of where it was when I remember it, because we're kind of close in age, up until where it's at today. Who are some of your most local artists and or dancers? Because I know Chris Brown, I'd have to say, is probably one of my favorites in terms of dancing. But who is your most influential hip-hop artist right now in comparison to who it was back then?
Oh, Jesus. I said ask those tough questions. God, I hate myself. Did you just want to know my favorite color? It's purple, by the way. I am sad to report that a lot of what I see today is very disappointing. I'm sorry to say that. I mean, I can go on and on with this mumble rapping. That's rapping, and all that. And I hate to say that because I'm starting to sound like my mom and my parents, people, older people when I was young. That's not music. That's not dancing. I sound like them now. But they're mumbling.
Right.
That's not rapping. A good rapper to me is a person that articulates. I don't even have to agree with the message. Just be good at explaining it and clear so I can understand you. Is that asking too much? The other one, in terms of dancing, what happened? What happened? That when the culture started, it was about the individual. It was about our self-expression. It was about how we felt in the moment. And now it's just a wall of shirts, orange shirts moving together. What do you tell people? I'm shirt number 4. Just everybody dancing in sync to such a degree that you don't see their personality anymore. It's just like a wall of butts and elbows moving. I'm gonna let it out here. That annoys me. When I used to see dancing back in the day, I could see, he's from New York, and he bring the Bronx with him. And I could see the Bronx with him. And I could see his family and his problems with him. And I could see how he's dealing with it through his movement. I can see that he's from Chicago. I can see they're from LA. Now I don't know where they're from. Wearing Celtics baseball caps with, Chicago sneakers. I'm losing my mind. What is this? People have no respect for anything anymore. Mixing and matching because they don't understand. Because, and I love Poland, but Poland, get it together, man. Celtics don't like Chicago. Anyway. So what I'm saying is hip-hop is getting lost in translation. The translation. Here's what we used to say. I used to be as the youngest member of the Lockers. I was, for lack of better comparison, I was the Michael Jackson of the Lockers. I was the little boy with the curly fro, the curly Puerto Rican afro, Hey, y'all. Let me introduce my big boys. And I would have a speech every night. We're the Lockers, an improvisational style dance troupe based on the improvisational style of the individual. The operative word is individual. The style of the individual. And the individuality of each member is what made the Lockers strong collectively. Not everybody having the same thought, doing it the same way. We can believe the same idea. Like, how many times have you gone to a holiday meal and you have arguments about whose macaroni and cheese is the best? Mama make better macaroni and cheese than he make better dressing than. It's all dressing though, right? It's all macaroni and cheese though, right? What makes it different is because everybody bring their flavor of their family to the soul food. That's what makes it different. They don't change the soul food though. And we all know when we're getting Kraft macaroni and cheese with that orange powder, we know that ain't it. We know when it's soupy. Well, when I see dancing today, it looks like that Kraft macaroni and cheese. And I can see the orange powder. And I can see that it's soupy. And it ain't got the crust. And it ain't have nothing to do with soul food. This is the point. This culture was created so that we could have individual voices collectively. So that we could dance in time, not like cheerleaders. Synchronized to such a degree, there's no soul in that. You can get Flipper to do that. with enough tuna, he'll do it, you know? Come on. Flipper can on beat. You know, but he ain't a shark. I'm a shark. I'm not gonna do that. You're not gonna put me in a wall of shirts. So I'm telling my people, let's be free. I'm calling on a mass exodus from Egypt. Let my people go. Let us be free again. Stop letting America's Best Dance Crew brand you. You don't even remember who second season winner is. Who's mask number 4? I love the Jabberwockies, but I don't know who they are behind them masks. You can change them for whoever, I don't know, right? Because see, that's what they're doing now. They're putting us in a mask. They just put them in a mask. Well, make the mask win. Not your personality. Not your voice. Let's make a step-up movie. With no more black people in it. We can't even be the third one. We can't even be the killer in it anymore. They gotta get a white killer. We're the black friend to the white killer. In a black movie. Tatum Channing's gonna go to our neighborhood, whoop all our behinds, beat us on the dance floor, and get the black woman. I knew this was coming when we brought Kelly, but then, there you go. And I love Kelly. She had a purpose, but we gotta put it in context. This is a closer. We gotta put this in context. This concept is being created. This culture is being created by blacks and Latinos in this country and is now being shared globally by every culture. But let's not forget about who's the cook here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on before you ask. We have time for 2 more questions. Who all has questions right now? So we can put this in perspective because we'll have to kind of go through them a little more rapidly.
Okay.
We want to get to them. Is that okay, Jonathan? Can we keep that in consideration? Okay. We want to get the people who have questions. Go ahead.
First, I'd like to say I agree with you about the rapping stuff, and second, I'd like to say who are you inspired by, like when you were first a rapper? Yes.
Well, yeah, okay, I want to put myself with the mumble rappers. I suck at rapping. So, you can put me with them too. If you ever hear me rap, don't buy my record. I'm telling you now. But if you want to buy it, it's fine. But I suck at rapping. I have all kinds. My inspiration doesn't come from necessarily another dancer, although all the lockers were my inspiration. My inspiration comes from my neighborhood, my community, and my people that I grew up in, starting in Chicago in the project homes. Believing that we're better than what our meager surroundings were and are.
Thank you. Let's go to the next question. Go ahead.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I watched your movie, and I came from Brooklyn first, LA, went to New York, did a lot of research on this movie, the talent, not the production side, but just the talent, where it came from. And we did, me and a friend, Maria Secor, we filmed a movie called BSB out of Brooklyn. And our inspiration was on you and the film to look at dancing in Brooklyn, where it was going. Not commercial, but coming from the streets of Bedford-Stuyvesant to Flatbush. And we kept on looking at the film and not seeing the Hollywood production side, but where it came from, what was going on in Brooklyn. We were having a lot of problems with our government. Our mayor, the separation of the Jewish and the black. There's a lot of violence in Bedford-Stuyvesant for many years, and you guys gave us inspiration to make this film out. This film was filmed, we finished it about 2 years ago, and we've been on tour for 2 years. And we just won Berlin last year, last year, but just this year we won documentary of the year for breakdancing, BSB. And you guys gave us the inspiration to make this film and really look at where dance was going in Brooklyn, and how come no one captured it. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Just a heads up, we have about 11, 12 minutes before we're gonna have our B-boy, B-girl dance cypher right here. So let's keep that in mind. A few more questions in the back.
I'm a huge fan of yours. I watched you on Soul Train with the lockers, what's happening. I've seen Breaking 1 and 2. Love you. Who is the bad Puerto chick? Thank you. What answer you guys got?
Are you talking about Anna Lollipop Sanchez? Anna Lollipop Sanchez was my dance partner. And just a bit of trivia, all the members that are in Breakin' were part of my crew. We only split them up for the film. Poppin' Taco was part of my crew. So was Anna Sanchez, which I taught Anna Sanchez how to whack and lock back in the 70s. And then Boogaloo Shrimp was part of my crew. So was Little Coco. And it was interesting because once we were doing one scene in Poppin' Taco, you know, who's quite formidable. You know, that boy could dance his butt off. And so, in a real kind of way. In any case, he's doing a solo. And when they said cut, he comes over to me, hey, Shab. I said, yeah, he goes, I'm really sorry about that. As I know, we're just acting, Taco. I know you don't mean it. But I just wanted you to know that because we loved each other, and even Poppin' Taco, who was a kind of in and out kind of member too. Electric Boogaloo started with me as well in the 70s. They started the electronic Boogaloo lockers, and then kind of went on as we named them the Electric Boogaloo in my dance show.
Thank you.